feminists are not happy about that performance or that video.
Well, feminism is the reason for that fucking video. Did they think about that?
No, I really.
Man, every time I think of feminists, I think of butch lesbian women with spiked hair and Raiders jerseys. Okay, every time you say feminism to me, that's the picture that pops into my head. Like some lesbian at a Raiders game, just yelling for the Raiders even though they down 40 points. That's a feminist for me.
I don't know. For me, I kind of, the feminist in my head is less kind than the one you're describing. Like I feel like I could have.
Oh, you mean like a fire-breathing dragon? I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like a middle-aged, like was a super hoe in her day, and now is trying to reverse being a super hoe by like being in like there's not even a word for it. Fire-breathing dragon, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. But just like, you know, past her prime.
Very passive.
Hating on all younger girls, like trying to tell them what to do, not because she really cares, but because she's jealous that she's not them. You know, like that's kind of what pops into my mind.
But feminism tells females to be like men. If you break it down, it tells them to use their sexuality as a weapon because that's all they got. Because they can't beat us up with their hands and their feet. So they try to beat up men with their sexuality and, you know, be manipulative in a way. Yeah, but then they end up becoming those old assholes you're talking about. And then the whole
that's what I'm saying is fine, because I know I'm on the winning side of that interaction.
But is it really winning when you got to deal with these chicks bitching on the TV all the time and look at them?
I mean, I could turn the TV off.
Oh, man.
Read a book.
There's nothing worse than a hoe past her prime.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah. You know, like when stars burn out?
Yeah.
They give us a nice little boom that turns into like some like flamboyant astronomical art.
Right. Yeah, they ain't like that.
When a hoe burns out, she just turns into like a fucking mummy.
You know, it's interesting because I know some of our listeners I know are probably a little bit younger than us, but we're in our early 30s right now, and there's a lot of like, you know, we see like Facebook and stuff like that. Like we see a lot of chicks like we knew from back in the day.
Yeah.
That we would think would still look like the same because we kind of look the same, but like they do not look the same, man. I don't know what happened.
No, they fell off the beet tree and hit every branch and ate every leaf.
And I feel like if anything, we've been partying pretty hard the past 15 years. I don't know where.
Well, that's the thing, man. Look at the whole lifestyle. If you break it down, let's break it down one night, and then we'll break down that one night of a hoe and multiply it by like 100 nights a year. Okay. Hoe takes 2 to 3 hours to get dressed. Hoe leaves her house at like 10 o'clock at night. Gets drunk around 11, 12. Stays there for power hours and dances her ass off all sweaty. You most likely won't get dick, but tries to get dick and then leaves mad. All right? When they angered like that, okay, they head straight to the drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
So you multiply that by 100. And I know I left out the part of them getting dick. I said most of the time hoes don't get dick. They don't. They seek it, but they don't get it.
Well, I think it's they don't get the dick that they're after. I mean, like they could go for like the 50-year-old greasy guy if they really want to.
But they don't hoe around every night. They hoe. It's consistent. It's like
because they want it to be all the stars to align when they get dick.
Like correlate a hoe to Ted Williams. Ted Williams batted 400 one season, right?
All right.
That means he didn't hit 60% of the time. Same with the hoe. But he's still known as a great hitter, right? Same with the hoe. Hoe's batting average is probably about 400 or 500.
Sure.
I'm describing a majority of the nights. Like a little lesser majority of the nights she going out putting out. Of course.
Yeah.
I understand if you're a chick and you go out sparingly. That's cool. You're not a hoe. I mean, every time I talk about chicks, I mean, the females think I'm talking about every female in the world. I'm talking about females who is dedicated to drinking and putting out. That's a hoe. And that's why they go from 0 to whatever.
You know how like in school sometimes there'll be like a teacher who like never really gives anyone credit for anything, never tells anyone they're doing a good job. He just kind of like is really hard on the people who like are fucking up. So then like if he doesn't say anything to you, it's kind of like a compliment because like him not criticizing you is like his way of saying you're doing all right. In a way, I kind of think about like that's the way that we kind of
approach
score the hoes. You know, it's like, yeah, we're not talking about all of them. We're talking about the ones that we were criticizing. And if we're not talking about you, then you're probably doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And you know what? there's guys that do this shit too, but it's most sinister with, I've noticed, with the females, because like I said, females is less physical and they more emotional. So since they less physical, the muscles ain't as big, they ain't as tall, and you know what I mean. They take a different approach, and it's a very sinister approach when you have that type of anatomy. And plus, psychologically, they more inclined to go crazy.
Yeah. And their brains are smaller.
That's science.
Yeah.
It's okay. When a female does her job, it's like, I know that some chicks are gonna be offended by it. When a female does her job and does things right and acts right, and when they dress, they like don't show too much skin, and they smell good, and their hair looks fantastic, and they like got this natural type of ambiance to their makeup, and like you see their little calves hanging out their dress. They got little heels on. It's like, oh, you just want to squeeze them, and you're like, oh, that's a beautiful woman. I just want to take her to the bed right now, and she just got ready. That's what a female's supposed to be like.
Yeah. I just got lost in what you were saying.
I was just describing how like when a female does shit right, it's like you want to take her straight to the bed. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, but it's in a conservative way.
I think a lot of chicks don't understand. This is something I was talking about with someone recently, but I feel like okay, let's take butts for example.
Let's take butts for example for the rest of the show.
Okay.
Alex.
Perfect. Like a lot of I would say the proportion of chicks who want to make their butts smaller versus make them bigger is a big disparity there. Most chicks feel like their butt's too big. Most chicks feel like they're too fat.
Yeah.
Most chicks see a picture of a chick with a six-pack and they want that.
Yeah.
You know, when most guys are not necessarily looking, like we're looking for a girl with just like maybe a flat stomach. I don't need to be able to wash my t-shirt on it.
It's not a number one priority.
Right, not at all. No. And there needs to be a butt.
Oh, the butt is crucial.
And mo is mo. Like you might as well, like if you got less, you need to have mo.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is
it's a mathematical equation that they just can't answer correctly.
They think they want to look good for guys, but I think what they really want to look good for is other chicks.
Yeah,
they want because they're always like looking for those features. But like guys, I'm trying to tell you, like I will be more sexually attracted to you.
Yeah.
Than if you look like if you got some ripped ass, like if you look like a Navy SEAL when you're naked, like I don't like that. I don't like it.
But that's the thing when females, they all lean like that, they have to be half naked to show off what they got. When a woman got like a mass of just like chunky ass, like, you know what I mean, round, and like it's just there, you know what I mean, you could see that through a dress. Okay, and then that's where you could dress conservatively, because what you got what you got, and you don't need to be half naked to show it. It's like a man with like advanced taste can see that already. I mean, if you got jugs, you don't need to have half your tits showing for a man to know you got them. You could wear a dress that covers them up, and you look most sexier doing it.
Right.
Rather than desperate.
And you know what the silver lining is, ladies? Is like if you got small tits, you know that.
Rock them, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you can overcome that, because guess what? If you got a small ass, you can make it bigger. Good luck trying to make your tits bigger without paying for it, and like possibly you having complications or something horrible happening. Like you can naturally make your ass bigger, and it ain't that hard.
And you know what?
Take some comfort in that.
Females, they butts grow. I don't know if they know this, but they're probably too busy trying to minimize it, like you said. Females, as they get older, their butts get bigger. You know what I mean? If they just adapt a male's approach to it, they can actually like develop into just like greatness just by taking the time.
I wish you people listening could have seen Todd describing a big chunky butt with his hands, because he really.
I got in there.
He really showed I don't know. It really painted a picture.
I mean, you saw that chunky butt with the way I described it with my hands.
I did.
I saw it too. Now I was thinking about a flowery summer dress. You know what I mean?
Sure, just kind of like resting on the top of the ass.
Yeah, and then like when they walk, you see it go bow, bow. It's like jiggles on the side, and you're like, there's a big ass in that dress, and she don't need to be showing it to show it.
Yep.
And you just go.
It's like a hint.
But you know what? If every female adopted what we just described, and you went to a bar and you saw like 100 chicks like that, my head would explode.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I'd probably spike my beer and just leave. It's like, fuck, I'm going crazy in here. but maybe it's good. Like 90% of hoes don't get it, and then 10%. The females there,
yeah, they're too worried about like what kind of purse they have. Like that's the thing. A hoe will spend $700 on a purse, no problem.
Yep.
Even if she puts it on a credit card with the $701 credit limit, she'll buy that $700 purse and
find a way
and pay it off. She'll pay $2,000 for it before it's all said and done.
Yeah. But
she'll take it out just so other chicks see what kind of fuck. Because that no straight man in that bar is gonna, even if he doesn't notice, because maybe. He's got a sister or something. He's not gonna give a fuck. If anything, he might be turned off by the fact.
Well, if he does notice, you know for sure you can't get him because he's probably gay.
Yep.
See, so that. Go ahead.
But I don't know. So I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with that.
It's because they're insecure and they have to feel. That's where they feel like their gusto. Like when other females notice that, like. They have that status symbol on their side.
Like, consider this. Like, if a guy is let's say a guy is just, like, kind of ugly, kind of dumb, doesn't have a lot going on, but every dude at the bar or the party or whatever is fucking in love with this guy, like, in a bromance kind of way. Yeah. Like, every guy wants to talk to him. Every guy talks about how cool he is behind his back when other people are listening, He's just the man. Chicks will be attracted to that guy. No matter how worthless he is, as long as they get those signals from other guys, they're like, oh, this guy is something special. But good luck pulling that one over on me. I don't care how many different chicks sit around talking about this chick. I'm going to be like, I don't care, man.
You know what would make sense of all that? If you could see females' insecurity levels, like you could see like the gas gauge in your car, it's always on empty, right? So like when a hoe buys like a $10,000 purse, her insecurity levels actually raise, like she's buying fuel. See what I'm saying? So that's why they find the reason to do that. And then, like when you describe this ass clown that all the females want or whatever,
right?
Her banging that ass clown raises the fuel gauge.
Shit, that's a good point.
So if we could see their fuel gauge, their insecurity, meter, everything would make sense. But since we can't, we just gotta assume,
speculate,
and use speculative thought through our experience.
Man, I'm fucking wired right now. This coffee's stronger than usual or something.
I could seriously bust off like 500 jumping jacks right now.